I'm very pleased to welcome Mark Fedosewicz, President and CEO, and Laurent Eustache, Executive Vice President of Vior Inc., which trades on the TSXV under the symbol VIO. Welcome, Mark and Laurent.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Good afternoon to all for taking the time to attend Vior's corporate presentation this afternoon and listen to what we think is a really compelling investment opportunity. Let's go back to maybe just the forward-looking statements, Laurent. I caution you to read the disclaimers, as there will be several forward-looking statements during this presentation this afternoon. So we'll start off with a little bit about Vior's sort of company value proposition. So first of all, we have exposure to multiple potential discoveries with the structure that we've put in place. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. And, discoveries are what we believe are the key driver for value creation in our industry that's known for a really low rate of exploration success. Secondly, all our precious metals projects are situated in North America and all in either Quebec or Nevada, two of the best jurisdictions globally for mining exploration. Thirdly, a little bit about our hybrid model. We generate or acquire really good exploration projects, and then we decide to either advance them on our own or to find a really good partner to JV or auction them to. We have a really highly committed management team, with strong leadership and a great track record, combined 100+ years experience in the mining, exploration, and financing. We're aligned with our shareholders. Management owns a little over 16% of the shares outstanding on an undiluted basis and a little over 20% on a partially diluted basis. We have some really good, strong project partners, which include Osisko Mining, Iluka Resources from Australia, SOCAM, big government arm in Quebec, and Ridgeline Minerals, really strong junior based in Nevada. Just briefly, in terms of our strategic value creation model, our partners, we've been around, first of all, since 1984. Our partners include Osisko, SIDEX, and Fonds de Solidarité in Quebec, who are really strong shareholders. Laurent and I have transformed our company over the past 9 to 12 months. We're quite different from the Vior of past, and we've done this through the acquisition and generation of two very promising district-scale projects in Quebec. You'll see on the right there, Belleterre is really our focal flagship project that we're advancing as we speak. Laurent will talk a little further about that shortly. Skyfall is another one of our district-scale projects that we've assembled in the last 8 to 12 months. We are advancing that as well. It's a little bit more greenfield, but we'll share with you some of the excellent results we've had thus far and what we think are some of the prospects. Ligneris we'll touch upon briefly as well. As part of our hybrid growth strategy, we also have the ability to invest in private exploration companies if we see a great investment opportunity. Obviously, one of the earlier presenters today, I believe at noon, was Ridgeline Minerals, which Vior holds a 6.5% equity interest in. We treat that as a mid to long-term investment. It has a value on our books of about $2.5 million as of today. Just briefly on our corporate structure, working capital position as of March 31, about $3.3 million. It's a little bit less than that, obviously, as of June 30th. We've been spending money advancing our Belleterre project. Investments in public companies were $2.25 million as of June 15th. That is higher today as well, a little over $2.5 million. Shares outstanding, just under 72 million as of March 31st. Major shareholders include Osisko Mining, which has become a significant partner of ours as of mid-March. They own a 6.7% undiluted interest and 9.9% partially diluted interest. Management owns a little over 16% of the company. Quebec institutions, approximately 16% of the company, and close strategic holders, approximately 30% of the company. I'll let the audience go through the warrants and the options, and our market capitalization is just under $15 million. A little bit of our board of directors. Claude Saint-Jacques was the founder of Vior back in 1984. He's our chairman. He was also the founder of the very successful Mazarin and Virginia gold mines, which was sold to Osisko Royalties and Gold Corp, the predecessor to Gold Corp, many years ago. Myself, I'm the president and CEO. I spent over 30 years in the investment and finance industry. I've been involved in investing in the junior mining space for over 35 years and built a significant network. Eric Desaulniers, one of our important board members, he's the founder and CEO of Nouveau Monde Graphite, a very successful green technology company based in Quebec. He's also very significant, influencer on our board in terms of guidance and vision. Charles-Olivier Tart, CFO of Nouveau Monde Graphite, great financial and accounting expertise, and Laurent Eustache, who's on with us today. Just briefly, Laurent joined us back in September of last year. He was a portfolio manager of a junior mining exploration fund based out of Montreal, Quebec, and also an analyst there. And prior to that, he was an economic geologist, having worked for Agnico Eagle Gold Mines and Horizon Gold Mines in Quebec. Management team, let's go over that quickly. Myself, Laurent, as we've already mentioned, Ingrid Martin, our CFO. Our technical team, which we're about to bolster up with a new acquisition in the last few days, but we can't really speak of it just yet. Christian Blanchet, who's been with us for over 8 years, he's our operations manager. Mathieu Gay is a recent hire in the last few months from Dundee Precious Metals in Quebec. He's our geology manager. And Marc Leroux, one of our technical advisors, he's our former VP exploration. And we're about to bring on a very well-known structural engineer that'll be announced in the next week or two. Just in terms of, as part of our value proposition, we have about $7 million of exploration money going into the ground where we have either a significant equity ownership in a project or a direct 100% equity ownership interest in about 10 different mining projects that'll be actively explored or drilled in 2021 and early 2022. So this should provide a pretty significant flow of news beginning over the next month. Just briefly on our gold-centric projects in Nevada, the first 4 projects are through our partner Ridgeline Minerals. We're not going to go into that just yet. They'll be expending about $5 million, but we do have a good significant equity ownership in Ridgeline. We have a 100% owned project in Tonia that will be advancing to a drill-ready stage shortly. And then our Quebec projects, where Laurent will expand on the 3 primary projects and go over the investment opportunity there. So I'm going to hand over the mic to Laurent, who will go over our district scale projects that we've assembled in Quebec and provide you with the opportunity forthcoming.
Yes, for sure, Mark. Thanks. And hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to share today with you our exciting story, I would say. So basically at Vior, we've developed a few criteria to acquire projects in the company. And we basically what we'd like to see is to be well located, so in mining friendly jurisdiction. And for the moment, we offer some exposure to projects in Nevada and Quebec, where we explore actively gold projects. We also are looking for to be in close proximity to advance or a mining project, which is, as everyone knows, it's easier to find the mine next to a current producing mine or an old mine. We're also looking for good infrastructures and accessibility, which is something really important for us. These criteria allow us to reduce. These criteria are really something important because they reduce the overall risk of exploration, lowering the cost of exploration, reducing the stakes of economical potential, which at the end will increase the return on capital for shareholders. So according to these criteria, we've executed these last months the acquisition of 2 district-scale projects, which are the Belleterre project and the Skyfall project located in Quebec. So just to give you an idea of the size of these district-scale projects, we've put on the right hand of these 2 projects the footprint of 2, I would say, large projects we have in Quebec, so the Canadian Malartic footprint and the Windfall project. So, and you can see that the size of our properties are pretty significant. So just a little bit on Belleterre, and after that on Skyfall. So Belleterre is located 95 kilometers south of Rouyn-Noranda. It's about 37 kilometers of favorable geology and includes the option to acquire the former high-grade Belleterre gold mine, which produced over 750,000 ounces of almost 11 grams per ton. So we are the first, Vior, to attempt a consolidation of that scale in the area, which will allow us the benefit to use systematic exploration, testing new geological models in an area where no real exploration has been done in the last 50 years. So since the acquisition, we've also completed a high-definition mag survey, which will help us to better understand the structures on the property, which are the plumbing of the gold mineralization in the area. So in our view, the Belleterre project is a kind of a unique opportunity where we have a prospective ground where economical production has been demonstrated in the past and where aggressive and systematic exploration could move the project quickly to its next development stage. So the project is composed of 2 components, the brownfield area in the center of the property and 2 greenfield area on the continuity up north and down south. So the brownfield area is constituted by the 2 former gold mines of the camp, and that consolidation we've done will allow us to test along strike at the former boundaries of these two main properties. So what we think on the brownfield is that we have a good potential for continuities of the mineralization along the strike on both properties, as well as depth, which, I mean, there's not much drilling and exploration done below the 300 meters depth, which is in today's standards just the surface. So that's what we're looking for and what attracted us on the area to acquire these 2 brownfield area. And the greenfield is the continuity of favorable geology with the main structure still there and supported as well with good geochemical anomalies. So it's really exciting. We've just started to kick off on the field the exploration program. So we will have 2 full months of exploration on the property, followed with the drilling program in fall. So the next project that I'd like to share with you today is Skyfall. Skyfall is a district-scale gold project located in the Urban-Barry Greenstone Belt, where Osisko Mining and Bonterra successfully created value for their shareholders these last 3 to 5 years. So that project is a pretty more early stage greenfield project, but in the geological continuity of Bonterra and Osisko. So surprisingly, there was no exploration done on that part of the belt historically. And since the acquisition, we've started to perform a till sampling survey on the property, just to look at if there is a background of gold in the property. And the results, just exceeded our expectation with a high number of gold grains, including pristine shapes indicating the proximity of gold in rocks nearby. So basically what we know on that property is the high-grade component of the deposit to the west with Osisco and Belleterre, and the high number of gold grain in the till to the east on the Vior ground. So on that particular project, we will complete a full month of prospection this summer, which could lead to eventually delimiting new gold showings that we will follow up with more advanced, work on the field. The third project, which we'd like to touch base on our portfolio that we have at Vior, is the Ligneris project, which is another almost district scale project. It's a project that requires deep pockets to explore, considering that we have lots of overburden, and that requires, different kind of exploration work on the property that maybe is not the best strategy for our shareholders at the moment. But I would say that particular project is a project that attracted the interest of our partner, Osisco Mining. So with that, I will leave the mic to Mark, maybe to wrap up a little bit on Vior.
Thank you, Laurent. And we'll just touch upon briefly our investment in Ridgeline Minerals. It's part of our hybrid model where we do have the option to invest in private companies if we see a great investment opportunity with great management, great projects, and we think we can add value to our existing shareholders. So this is an investment we made back in late 2018 and 2019 at the very early seed rounds when the company was private. So we own at the moment a 6.5% equity ownership in publicly traded Ridgeline Minerals, who presented earlier today. So if anybody's interested in learning more about them, they can go to probably a rewind of the presentation. So just briefly, they have an 100% ownership interest in 4 very promising projects in Nevada on the Carlin and Battle Mountain Eureka trends. They'll be spending about $5 million over this 12-month period, significant land package. And we treat this as a mid to long-term investment within Vior's investment portfolio. We don't treat it as part of our working capital position. I think we'll skip over the projects, Laurent, just for a time point of view, and maybe just go to a wrap up just to summarize Vior's investment opportunities. So, what we want to convey to the audience is we have a solid, experienced management team, low-cost corporate structure, large insider ownership. We all have skin in the game. We're committed to building shareholder value here. Our innovative business model provides our shareholders with exposure to 10 promising precious metal projects. Yes, we do have a couple other non-precious metal projects, but they're not our focus. And if they add value to shareholders, that's great, but that's not our focus. Osisco Mining's recent investment in us this past March at 20 cents a share is validation for Vior's project's potential and our corporate strategy and execution. They recognized late last year what we were doing in consolidating the Belleterre region and recognizing our huge land package that we were also consolidating in the Urban Berry Camp with our Skyfall project. And they were also attracted, thirdly, to the Ligneris project, which is on our books, and we should create value for our shareholders there by either optioning or JV it to someone over the next 6 to 12 months. Fourthly, exploration work and drilling, where a minimum of $7 million is going to be expended in 2021, and I would add early 2022. Shareholders and new investors can expect a continuous news flow throughout the year and well into next year. Of note, Belleterre is a rapidly developing brownfield gold project. As Laurent alluded to, we think we can bring this from the current stage to a more advanced stage pretty rapidly with a little luck with the drill bit later this fall. And the Skyfall project is showing, even though it's a greenfield project, it has excellent blue sky potential to add value for shareholders. So I'd like to thank everybody for listening to the formal presentation. I'll move over to some of the questions and go over those with you, and I'll read them out to you. So one of the questions is, what advantages does your hybrid approach provide shareholders versus an investment in a traditional exploration company or an investment royalty type company? So, the main advantage is risk diversification. I think anyone who's invested in the junior mining space recognizes that, some of the exploration companies, if you only have one project and all your attention is focused on it, and things do not work out, it can be, it can be a very high risk game. It can be very rewarding as well, but we all understand the risk associated in our industry and the chances for success. So we've modeled it such that we're spreading our risk around. The hybrid model allows us to invest in private companies. We have this investment in Ridgeline Minerals, as I alluded to. That could be a significant win for our shareholders as well, independently of our own 100% owned projects that we're advancing. Plus, we have several other projects in Quebec, including Ligneris, that we are going to potentially option or JV during this bull market and try to reward our shareholders with a good partner. Secondly, how does your property with the Hawk Moon property? How does your property? I'm trying to read this. My apologies to the audience. How does your property with Hawk Moon property differ? So maybe Laurent, can you answer that? Like the Hawk Moon property is not really adjacent to us, but it's nearby. Can you expand on that at all?
Yeah, I would say we don't. We've not got the opportunity to meet the management of Hawk Moon, but we've noticed that they're pretty active in the area as well. So I would say they recognize the quality of these areas to be prospective, which is we totally agree with. I would say that we're pretty happy with our properties and the way we've executed the acquisition based on a strategic approach, a scientific approach with geochemistry and to see some good potential on these properties. But exploration is exploration, so I think I think.
Thanks,
that's what I have to say.
I'll just add, in what we've been able to assemble at Belleterre, a lot of institutional investors we've had the opportunity to speak with at a very early stage a few weeks ago were amazed at what we were able to package in the last 8 to 10 months. Some of them are sort of don't believe till they see. But I think they're amazed. We have the option to purchase a former high-grade, past-producing mine, and it's like Laurent already explained. The opportunity is open at depth and the extensions as well. And we have a huge land package that we're going to be exploring to potentially find some other promising deposits. One of the other questions, when do you expect to upgrade to a proper U.S. stock listing? we're looking at that as we speak. In fact, it was discussed just before the presentation. So we'll be looking at a proper OTC listing in the next several months to allow a wider U.S. investor base to participate in our story. Next question: are you focused on specific metals only? The answer would be we're gold centric. We're gold focused. That is our focus at the moment, pure and simple. There could be some other metals that are a byproduct at some of our projects if we discover a new deposit, but it is gold focused for certain. Next question would be: tell us what more about your relationship with Osisko. What do they bring? How active are they? Laurent, you want to tackle that one?
Yeah, I mean, yes, and I will let you answer at the end as well. But I think the relationship is really great. I think they when we've got the opportunity to present what we were doing at Vior since the beginning of the acquisition of Belleterre and consolidation of Skyfall, they recognize the quality of what we were doing. And in like you said, in perspective of acquisition at low cost, and they were pretty happy to see what we were able to do and consolidate on that so short period of time. And they thought, okay, maybe we'd like to partner with you and support what you're doing. And they saw some synergies on a few of our projects, especially Skyfall, which is, the continuity of what they're exploring at the moment and developing. And the Ligneris project was also a project that attracted their interest as well. And I think Belleterre is just well located. It was kind of a forgotten area. And so mainly that's the reason they decided to join the story. And the benefit of that is we have a technical committee with them, so we can share ideas on our project. They can provide some support, which is really helpful for us to fast track our exploration.
Yeah, and I just add, it's rare that the juniors are able to consolidate and assemble, really promising district scale projects in really good jurisdictions. And, I can say firsthand, Belleterre meets all the key criteria for intermediate major companies if we have success there in terms of accessibility, infrastructure, access to good labor, drilling and operating year round. So, that was another attraction for certain. And they had some small projects nearby, and who's to say that they weren't looking at doing the same thing we were able to do, but we were first movers. Next question is, I'm going to move on here. My apologies. There was something about milestones. Okay, what are your key milestones to the end of the year? Laura, you want to just tackle that to the best of your ability there?
Yeah, we have a couple of key milestones. We're still working on a couple of acquisition as well. We also have started to work on the field. So we will start to see some results from the project. We're still continuing to consolidate the team around what we need to advance the project. So, and we will start to drill sooner than later. I'm
just going to interject. We got 10 seconds. Our objective is to define the best drilling targets we can through our campaigns the next couple of months. So thank you everyone for attending.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best.